All right, y'all. So this is my first time putting up a video in a long time. I've been away, just working. So I decided to do a video tonight because I got some disappointing news. I only got about 100 followers, or probably 105 followers. I don't have a lot of followers, so whatever. But the disappointing news is this: any one of you guys out there that have seen my video, I've been on semen retention. I started in February of 2022. And I've been going strong for 2 years, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 2 years and 3 months, February, March, April, May. We're in May, right? So for 2 years and 3 months, I've been going solid. I'm talking about zero masturbation, pornography, sex, any kind of, just my mind's just been on another planet. I haven't been on Earth, right? In that regards. So, I've just been in another dimension in regards to, remaining, keeping my seed and just like transmuting it, right? Not suppressing, because you can't suppress it. You have to transmute it. And so I've been, and I've been productive in the last 2 years and 3 months, very productive. I got a lot done in terms of, like I said, just harnessing that energy and putting it into something constructive. I wrote where a couple of my books, I can't find them. They're around here somewhere. Well, all right, I see one down there, but I don't feel like moving down there right now. But I've got, matter of fact, let me grab it. This is like one of the many, right? I got this published, Indictment by yours truly, really good book that I wrote. I also got a couple of other books. I don't know where they're at. I got a few books published, wrote a few books and published a few books. My business been blossoming, burgeoning, doing very well, burgeoning my business. So I've been very productive. I would say in the 2 years, 3 months, the most constructive and productive thing I've gotten done is my publishing, right? I've written 1, 2, 3, I'd say 4 books. I got 4 books published. I got 4 books written and published in the last 2 years. So I guess I got some stuff done, but I'm disappointed in myself. I am and I'm not. First, let me tell you why I am. Because my mind was just so tapped in and just not, just very disciplined. That's the word's my favorite word, discipline. I love the discipline of it all. So that's why I'm disappointed, because the discipline's been broken. I had to break it when I broke my semen retention. What's today? Saturday, Thursday night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So call it 2 days ago, right? It's Saturday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So we could say three days. 3 days ago. And let me tell you why. Why I had to break the semen retention. I got blue balls, y'all. And that's the dangers. See, look. Right here in front of me. Right? So y'all see, I got semen retention miracle. So I have, I've been very thorough on my discipline and my practice. I got several books on semen retention that I've ordered on Amazon and read. So I could, I got Brahmacharya, which is the Hindu version of semen retention. I got it up here somewhere. It's in my library somewhere. But I've done my due diligence, and I was aware that while on semen retention, obviously there's a buildup, right? You're not releasing, so it's a buildup, and it does get, based off my research, it is absorbed back into the bloodstream. When it's not released, it's actually absorbed back into the bloodstream, and it pretty much just flows throughout your body and gives you that glow, so to speak. But so because it's phosphorus, zinc, vitamin B, iron. It's packed. It's rich with these vitamins and nutrients. So your body actually uses it when it's not released. But again, I'm talking 2 years, 3 months. That's a long time. So there's that buildup, nevertheless. And I don't know what triggered it. Like I said, I haven't done anything to bring on any kind of sexual arousal or anything. I've been very focused, very disciplined. I don't entertain feminine energy, no homo. I just don't entertain feminine energy in any kind of private quarters. Obviously in public, I have to interact with women. I'm at work, there's assistants, there's people around, so I do interact. But when I say entertain, I mean in terms of putting myself in a private space where I'm tempted or I'm aroused, I'm stirring the pot, so to speak. I haven't done that for the past 2 years, 3 months. So I don't know what triggered it, but Tuesday of last week, I just started feeling some serious pain. And when I say serious, I mean serious. And I felt it Tuesday. I knew what it was because, like I said, I study a lot of information on it. So I wasn't too nervous because I knew what it was and I understood what are the symptoms and what are the methods and techniques, right? So you could do cold showers, which I've been doing cold showers for the past 2 years, year and a half anyway. So I do cold showers, so that's normal. Cold ice baths, right? So I did the ice bath Tuesday and Wednesday night. That wasn't working. I did the ice pack. I did, exercise, and obviously that's something they said, could get the blood flowing to release the blood flow as well, the buildup. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing was happening. Like nothing, it wouldn't go away. So for 3 days, I'm walking around and, pardon my expression, but my nuts just feel like they're about, like just heavy, and it's just like I feel a pain, and I'm like, whoa, So again, I'm a man of faith. I got a lot of faith, but I believe in faith with works. You can't throw reason and rational out the window. You have to have faith and you have to have works, because the Bible says faith without works is dead. So in other words, your faith must be complemented by your reason, and your reason must be complemented by your faith, right? We're not idiots. You can't be an idiot. You can't throw reason, rationale out the window for faith, and vice versa. You can't throw faith out the window for reason and rationale. It has to be a balance, a symbiotic relationship. So I started talking to God about it, and I'm like, God, I'm doing so good. I'm doing, and my motive, first of all, my motivation for semen retention has always been to draw nearer to God, to get a closer bond, a closer relationship, tap in with the Most High, just really, avail myself to Him, right? Because this body is just a vehicle. It's the soul and the spirit that's within, that's the life. So I just really been trying to, just get a deeper relationship with God, and understand that one of the main, it's not the only thing, but one of the main things that hinder us from getting closer to God is pleasure. And one of the main things to get you closer to God is suffering. But believe it or not, suffering is one of the it's one of the main factors that draw you closer to God. Why is that? I could go on forever, but I'll keep it real short. Suffering gets you closer to God because it's kind of like it's like when you deprive your body of the biological pleasures, you're actually enhancing your spirit. You're advancing your spirit. You're actually you're running on just spirit, right? If your body is being deprived and you're not getting, whether it's food or any kind of pleasure, right? When there's no physical gratification, then your willpower is being exercised. Your determination is being exercised. So you're exercising all your intangible assets, right? These are assets and they're intangible because you can't feel them, you can't touch them, you can't see them. So you're exercising all your spiritual qualities, and that's what draws you closer to God, because you're depriving one, and to deprive one is to exercise and enhance the other. And it goes both ways. If you're a glutton, you're constantly eating, you're constantly indulging in pleasures, you're actually advancing the flesh. That's what the Bible calls it, the flesh. You're advancing or if you want to use scientific terms, you're advancing and enhancing your physical appetites to the expulsion of your spiritual qualities. It goes both ways. So when you feed one, when you starve one, you feed the other. See how that works? When you starve your body, you're feeding your spirit. And that's why suffering in any shape or form, whether it's suffering through fasting, not eating, letting the body suffer, or denying yourself of physical pleasures, it's also a form of suffering. And when you starve your body or your physical appetites, you're actually feeding your spiritual appetites. And the same goes in both directions. So I just want to give a quick tutorial on why that works. So that's why me doing the practice of semen retention, my motivation was to deprive myself, starve myself, physical pleasures and so on and so forth. And semen retention is a holistic thing, right? So I'm also, and during that practice, I'm also doing very well in terms of dietary supplements, eating healthy. You got to make sure you're eating very healthy stuff. I'm doing my meditations. Again, the exercise, physical exercise, you have to. So it's holistic. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to do semen retention. No, you have to do semen retention. You have to make sure you're praying. You have to make sure you're meditating. right? You have to make sure that you're reading things like the book I just showed you, stuff that's going to literature that's going to help you, that's going to feed you knowledge and information on what you're doing and how to go about it. So it's a holistic thing. It's comprehensive. It's not just one thing. And I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing phenomenally well. So I had, I felt, Thursday night, I couldn't, the pain was just getting excruciating, and everything I tried just wouldn't work in terms of alleviating it. And then obviously, as I'm researching, it tells you too, though, the other method or the other option to get rid of it is to masturbate or to have sex. Now, I'm not in a relationship, so the only alternative is to masturbate. Didn't want to, because like I said, I've been doing so well. There's no shame. I'm not shaming anyone, or if you masturbate, whatever. It's, do your thing. It's up to you. I'm not. It's no judgment-free zone here. But again, based off my discipline and my practice, I didn't want to. All right, because I'm doing great with what I set out to do, the goal, and I wanted to hit 3 years and 4 years and see how far I can take this thing, right? And see how close I can get in terms of like spiritual revelation, wisdom, understanding, all these godly qualities, right? The essence of God, the nature of God, right? Trying to uncover the nature of God, because God is within us. And the more you deprive and the more you fast and do these spiritual practices, you're revealing God within you, right? So you're not discovering anything new. You're just revealing. It's a revelation. That's why it's called the book of Revelations. You're just revealing, right? Because God is already within you. He's just buried underneath all of the earth, so to speak. And the earth is cursed. Cursed be the ground because of you, Adam and Eve, right? So Genesis chapter 3, I think verse 16 says, cursed be the ground. So the earth is cursed. And because the earth is cursed and we're taken from dust, we were taken to dust, we'll return. Because we're taken from the earth, we're there inherently cursed. Our nature is cursed, right? It's based on scripture, right? Whether you ascribe to it or not, that's what it is, scriptural. So God is beneath all of that. So he's within us. Know ye not that your body is a temple of the holy and living God, right? So your God dwells in you. He said, I will walk in them, I will dwell in them, right? They will be my people and I will be their God. So it's scripture. In Psalms 82, know ye not that ye are gods and all of you are the children of them. So God is within us. It's just that he's buried under the layers of our sinful nature. And to reveal is to do the things I just said in the aforementioned in the previous 1 minute or 2 minutes ago. The suffering, the denying of the flesh, and right, starving one, feeding the other, etc., etc. So I was very like, man, I don't want to, the pain, but I'm talking to God now. This is Thursday night. I'm talking to God like, God, you gotta help me out here. This pain is and I'm not just faith without works. I'm both, right? I understand too that I don't want to. The goal is not to harm myself. Right? I don't want to create any irreparable damage, because I understand too that you can mess yourself up, right? Stuff can go wrong. We're still in the flesh. We're still human. We're fragile. Human beings are fragile creatures. So I have faith, but I also have rhyme and reason, and my intellect is still intact. I'm not one of those God people who believe like, oh, God will fix everything. No, he gave you wisdom. God ain't going to make money just fall into your lap. I mean, he can, but you got to get out there and work. Right? There's people who are Christians or who believe in God, and they don't believe they have to really go out and work their faith. Right? They make a plan and they wait for God to execute the plan. No, if you got a plan, you got to plan your plan and you got to work your plan. Right? You got to have faith in your plan and you got to get out there and execute the plan. So I'm one of those guys that's hands on. So I got faith, but I also got my senses are still intact. The goal here is not to harm myself. Right? God didn't make me a fool. So I'm thinking like, all right, I said my prayers, talk to God like, all right, Father, we got 2 years, 3 months. I wish I can go a little longer, but the body, this body is this body is a prison, so to speak. In the Bible, Paul says that, to be free from the body is to be with God. Because when you're in the body, as a soul, as a spirit in the flesh, we're somewhat restricted and limited within the body. So I understand that the body, the spirit, as the Bible says, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. The body is weak, right? Biologically, again, we're fragile creatures. A little wind blowing, we get a fever, we get a cold, we get sniffles, we get sick. That's the body's weak. Though my spirit is like, honestly, I felt like I could have kept going for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Like I just completely. There was mornings I woke up, I wondered if my tool was still working, because I just lost all appetites. Like it doesn't matter what woman I saw, what woman flirted with me. I go to the gym every day. It didn't matter. Like like women didn't like, I can't explain, but the transformation that goes on, it's like it's the sexual appetites, just you're on a different wavelength. You're not affected. And it's not that you're not affected, you're just not consciously affected. Subconsciously you're affected because, again, it's in your biology, it's in your DNA to be attracted to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Provided you're a heterosexual male, pheromones and your chemicals. So your body's naturally, the feminine energy, masculine energy, the attraction, it's naturally there. What happens is you rewire your conscious mind to tune in to another frequency. So you're not picking up on those vibes that's being emitted by the feminine energy, although they're still there. So I just felt, like superhuman in that regards, right? I mean, I still got my down days. Every day wasn't an up day for me. I still walk around days and I'm miserable and I'm upset. Business is going crazy. I'm trying to deal with clients and hostile, put out fires in the office and, stuff. Life. I'm still dealing with it. But in terms of just like my sexual energies, I had it like harnessed. I just had it controlled, not suppressed, but just harnessed. Gym every day, 5 days a week, church every weekend, my daughter, writing my books. I'm back in school online. I'm studying psychology and working towards bachelor's, then ultimately master's and PhD. So I'm focused. So I had that. Everything was going, but the pain was just Thursday night killing me. So I had my talk with God and I said, I made my peace. And I masturbated. Yeah, I had to let it out, and I got it out, and it still was hurting. The next day was still the pressure went from, let's say if it was 10, it went to 8. It didn't go back, because keep in mind this is 2 years and 3 months of retaining, so it's a lot, right? And the pressure dropped from a 10 to a 7. I figured, if I could get it out one time, I could jump back on my retention. I'd take a break, if you will, right? But get back, right? Because I don't care about falling off the wagon. I'm about to get back on the horse. So I figured, okay, release, but the pain didn't go away. So this was Thursday, Friday, I'm in the office. I had to leave work because the pain was still there. So I had to come home, yank one out again, right? I had to get another one out. Pain went from a 7 to like a 5. And I'm like, yo, this... so I'm still in pain at a 5. Now that I'm no longer at a 10, we cut the pain by 50%, but I'm still in pain, and I feel good. Like, thank God it's it's going away, but it's still uncomfortable. I could walk normal. Before I was walking like now I'm walking normal, but I'm still in pain. So I yanked them. I had to get a few more out, and Saturday night now, and I feel on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say it's a 0.5%, right? So it's like almost gone. Right? I say 0.5% because there's a little, put it like this, I can almost say it's completely gone, but I say 0.5% because I could still feel a little tint, right? A tad, a bit of it, but I'm almost 100% better, right? Almost at 0%. I think by tomorrow morning I'll be 0%. So, but I don't feel, normally I don't feel guilty, right? Which is a good sign in the spiritual realm, right? Because I'm one of those guys that's big on the several planes of existence, the astral plane, the spirit realm, and all. I study that stuff. So I didn't get the guilt, the shame, and the feelings that entails when we do that, right? There's a certain, people who masturbate know what the hell I'm talking about, right? And if you don't get guilt, that's a simple, if you're not guilted by it, then that means you really got it bad, because that means that you just normalized it. But it's masturbation on a spiritual level is never good for you, even though doctors or people encourage you to do it because society want to keep you weak, right? Masturbation weakens us. It's never good for us. Everything in moderation. Obviously, I got to take my own advice because I went extreme with the retention thing and I suffered the consequences of it. But I didn't feel any guilt, didn't feel any shame, didn't feel any kind of, I didn't, even when I started this video, I said I'm disappointed. I'm really not. I'm really not disappointed. I just wish I could have kept going, right? Because I don't feel disappointed. Why? 2 years, 3 months, shit. That's an achievement for me. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at a guy that, I used to have a woman in my apartment every weekend years ago. I'd pick girls up everywhere and anywhere. I go jogging in the park, see one, let's go. I'm in the library, hey, you, come here. Next thing I'm taking them upstate, we're going hiking and we're in the woods getting busy, right? I'm taking the AU on the train. Let's go. New Eureka Poetry Cafe. Next night we're in the house getting busy. So for me, like, women was just, it's not a conquest. It's not a challenge, right? Like, that's why I was able to do retention, because sex to me is not, it's not, to get sex from a girl, it's not challenging. It's like, it's just kind of like a norm. It's, you know, I don't want to sound cocky or arrogant, but it is what it is. It's just, you know, it was just a norm. It was just like it's like breathing, you know. And the reason why it was easy for me to get women is because I was one of those guys, like, I'm a salesman, right? And I always teach my staff, right? Like, the secret to, you see that guy over there? He's a salesman of the month. And you know why he's a salesman of the month? It's not because he's a good salesman, contrary to what you might think, right? People see the numbers up on the every week. This guy's hitting his quota. This guy's a great salesman. He's not a great salesman. I'm gonna tell you what his secret is. He does what I do. This is what every person who's called a great salesman know this. And the ones who won't agree to this, they're capping, as they say. It's cap. All great salespeople know this, and this is the absolute truth, right? I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna let you in on the salesman's secret. I'm gonna let you know what his secret is to why every month or every other month he's the top sales guy. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's not because he's a great salesman. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's because he understands the law of averages. That's it. And that attitude right there in life will always make you a winner. The guy you see who's the top salesman, he's the top salesman only because he made way more phone calls than you that month. You spoke to, for the month, 50 clients, 50 prospects. He spoke to 200. See, that's how it works. You spoke to 200 clients, or prospects, excuse me, they're not clients. You spoke to 200 prospects. That guy spoke to 1,000. Who do you think gonna win? Now, granted, his percentage, if you go over like percentage out of like shots made and shots taken, looks terrible. Looks terrible. The guy spoke to 1,000 people. And he closed 5 deals, and those 5 deals were worth $1 million, whatever it was. So that $1 million for the month made him the winner. But he spoke to 1,000 people, and he got 5 of them and raised $1 million. That's the kind of business I'm in, right? So you think about that. You're only seeing the guys on the top of the board with $1 million for the month that he raised. So everybody comes in with the flowers, and you know the confetti falls out, and he's a top salesman. And if he's capping, he could say, yeah, I'm the top salesman because I know how to sell better than everyone else. He's capping. Right? That's he could sell. Don't get me wrong. That's a part of it, but it's a very small part of it. That's not the talent. The selling, the skills is a talent, but it's not really the talent, because there's a saying that hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So talent alone ain't gonna get you there. It's the discipline and the stick-to-itiveness and the push, the determination to make that 1,000, to speak to 1,000 prospects and get 5 or 6 of them, and then at the end of the month you have $1 million raised, or $500,000, whatever it is. So I digressed to show you, like, even with that, that's how I use that's the kind of idea, that's the kind of psychology I have when it comes to women. I didn't get a lot of, for me getting women, it wasn't because I was a smooth talker, it was because I was some fly guy. Hell no, I was the corniest kid in high school. I'm still a cornball, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still the corniest guy in the world. 100%, I own it. Years ago, I used to run away from it. I was younger and I was, you know, I didn't want to be the nerd and the corny guy. But I was a cornball in high school, cornball, and I was just cornball all around. And I own it now. I'm a cheese bucket. Whatever. See, even using terms like a cheese bucket. What the hell's that? Right? So it wasn't because I'm a popular guy or just a cool cat and girls just, no. It's because I was a cornball and I figured something out. I figured, hey, if I just talk to 100 girls, I'm bound to get one of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's an analogy. It doesn't have to be 100. It could be 10, 20, whatever. But if I talk to a large amount, whatever that amount may be, I'm guaranteed to get 1, maybe 2 if I'm lucky, or 3 if I'm really lucky. So the secret, you know, is like in sales, it's about not getting, like, rejection doesn't affect you. You have to let rejection, you know, like, just flow off the shoulders. Like, you're not affected. So I digressed a bit, but yeah, I kind of like went down the rabbit hole a little bit. But the point is, though, that I didn't feel any guilt or shame or anything, because here's why I didn't feel guilt. not just because it's 2 years and 3 months, right? But because it was a conscious decision, one, and two, it was a physical and a biological, possibly something, injurious was happening to the body, right? So it was because of a physical injury that could have, I don't know what could have happened, but it was definitely because of the physical harm, pain, injury, whatever you want to call it, that was occurring within the body, which my ration and my reasonable mind, my rational mind said, okay, we're not trying to get hurt here. We're not trying to mess ourselves up. Let's reel it in. Let's reel it in, and let's let it out, right? So it was a rational decision. It was a conscious, I'm very conscious. I'm very aware of what I'm doing, and that took away the guilt and the shame or any kind of, disappointed feelings, because again, it wasn't a instinct or an impulsive reaction or an addictive reaction. See, that's the guilt part, when you're addicted to something and that something controls you. Right? You can't stop smoking because that cigarette controls you. You can't stop drinking because that bottle controls you. You can't stop being promiscuous because that punani controls you. You can't stop gambling because the thrill of winning money controls you. Anything that controls you will always have some feeling of shame or guilt. And if you don't feel, like I said, even if you don't feel shame and guilt because you're immune to it, or you become it's so normalized, it still has a detrimental impact, because that gambling has controlled you so much that you might get evicted because you gambled your damn rent money, or you gambled your mortgage money, or you gambled money that the wife and the kids that could have came to your household, and now you're having an argument with your girl because you wasted the money on a dice game in Vegas or wherever. Because these are real issues that happen, right? Marriages fall apart for these things. Financial irresponsibility, right? Or you're getting throat cancer because the cigarette controlled you for all these years, and now you got lung cancer or throat cancer, or your kidneys are failing because the alcohol's control you for. So to me, even if you don't feel guilt and shame from these things, they still destroy and deteriorate and collapse your biology and your physiology over a period of time. So whether you get a psychological qualm, which is a pain in the psychology of guilt and shame, or if you don't get the guilt and shame, you get the physical and biological injury and damage to your kidneys, liver, lungs, whatever, over a series of time. So either way, it's going to take its toll on you. It's going to do something to you, right? So I didn't feel any of the guilt, the shame, the psychological pains that comes with it. But like I said, it did take a toll on me physically. And because of that, I had to break it. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I am going to get back on the horse and start again, but I'm definitely going to give my just kind of like probably do 3 months, do it quarter, like companies report their finances quarterly. So I'll do it like that. I run my body like a corporation. They have to put out their numbers every quarter, every 3 months. They have to release their numbers. So every 3 months, I might just do 3 months and release 3 months and release, because it's like I said, but here's the interesting thing, right? Because indulge me here, humor me here, because these books that I've read on semen retention, particularly Brahmacharya, which is the Hindu version of semen retention, and it talks about the monks. You have those in the Orient, right? They do retention for their whole lives. And I remember reading the book thinking, like, how do now that I just went through this painful stuff that I had to stop it, like, how do these guys do it? But I remember I thought about it, that these guys are monks, one, and in the book Brahmacharya, all these guys who were lifelong retainers, they live in mountains. They literally live in mountains, and they wear shoals. Like, they're half naked in the mountains, and they don't interact. There's no women around. There's no feminine energy around. So in terms of just the frequency alone, their bodies, their biology, their cells are not interacting with feminine energy. So the sexual energy is less aroused. So for instance, like for me, being in modern society, being in New York City, I'm on the subway. I go to the gym every day. I work in an office. You're just naturally walking around women every day, even though I'm not interacting with them consciously, intentionally, purposefully. I'm interacting with them biologically, just by being in the gym. You know, there's all kind of women in the gym. I might never say anything to them, which I don't, but that doesn't matter because the feminine energy is still there and I'm still immersed in it, right? Especially in the gym, feminine energy is very intense because people are exercising. So pheromones and all this stuff is really concentrated. So just day to day doing that, even though, again, like I said, consciously, it's not bothering me because I'm not interacting with it, but biologically and physiologically, my body is still absorbing these energies, whether it's in my office with my sales assistant, just being around any kind of, I'm in church and there's a lot of women there. So I'm also, so it makes it more, I say that to say, it makes it more difficult as opposed to, the brahmacharis, the Buddhist monks, and those who live in the Himalayas and up in the mountains, and because I'm like, how do these guys deal with the blue balls, right? And the proper, I think the medical term for it is epididymal. I was reading about it yesterday for these last 3 days because I've been going through the problem. It's epididymis, or something. I can't remember, but there's a medical term for blue balls. It's called epididymis or epididymal, something like that, whatever. And it's really, the reason why it's called, they give it the colloquial or the slang term blue balls is because your balls get, discoloration. It turns bluish, and that's how it comes with the term blue balls. Women get it too, but it's not called that for them. I think it's called ovum, OVU. I forgot. Like I said, I haven't for the past 2 days. My mind's been kind of, again, I've just been in a lot of pain, so excuse me. My brain is still a little fried. That's why I can't remember the terms, but my brain's a little fried because, like I said, I just been going through some very, very intense pain. But like I said, I think that's part. So I was thinking, what triggered it for me Tuesday of this week? And like I said, I can't pinpoint any particular thing. All I could say is the 2 years and 3 months, and just, again, naturally being in an environment where there's feminine energy, whether it's in the gym, whether my church, or at work, wherever I am, so you're naturally still, and it's cumulative, because over the 2 years and 3 months, it's cumulative in terms of the sexual energy. But so I broke it. Like I said, don't feel any shame or guilt. The only thing I do wish is that I didn't have the pain and I could have stayed the course and not break it and make it to 3 years and then see from there where I go. But we're gonna, I know you guys can hear a little bit of disappointment in my voice. There is. But it's like I said, it's not really disappointment. It's more just, damn, I wish this body could have carried it a little, just stay, But that's it. All right. So this is, whatever. If anybody hears it, appreciate you for listening. 33 minutes, a long time. I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. If you like the comment, if you like it, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever. I'm barely on this thing anyway. All right, peace.